What if I told you that the three greatest songwriters of all time, according to one of rock's most unpredictable legends, aren't just musical icons, but architects of raw human emotion? Neil Young, the man who called himself a rusty old cowboy, once pointed to three names that shaped his entire worldview. But here's the twist: this list isn't about technical skill or chart dominance. It's about something way deeper. And honestly, I think this reveals more about Young himself than the artists he idolizes. Let's rewind. Neil Young came of age in the 1960s, a time when music wasn't just sound, it was a revolution. And at the center of that storm were three figures who redefined what songwriting could be. But here's what fascinates me: Young didn't choose peers who mastered a single genre. He worshipped chameleons. Bob Dylan, Paul McCartney, and Joni Mitchell, each a universe unto themselves. Why? Because Young saw his own restless creative soul reflected in theirs. Take Dylan first. The man turned poetry into a weapon. Young once said, "He's the master. If I'd like to be anyone, it's him." But here's the thing: Dylan wasn't just a lyrical genius. He proved that music could be a living, breathing entity. His early work: raw, unpolished protest anthems. Later years: gothic nightmares and surreal love letters. And Neil Young? He took that blueprint and smashed it into overdrive with Crazy Horse. What many people miss is that Young didn't want to copy Dylan, he wanted to channel that same fearless reinvention. That's why Like a Rolling Stone hit him like a lightning bolt. It wasn't the song itself, it was the audacity to burn down the rulebook. Now let's talk McCartney. Young inducted him into the Rock Hall, calling Money, That's What I Want, his first guitar lesson. But here's the deeper layer: McCartney represents the art of making complexity feel effortless. Think about it. The Beatles wrote symphonies disguised as pop singles. And Young? He took that same DNA and made it gritty. When he praises McCartney's timeless melody, he's really talking about a paradox. How do you make something catchy and profound? That tension is what fuels classics like Harvest Moon. Personally, I think Young envies that duality. He's never been about polish, but he gets it's the rarest gift when a song can feel both spontaneous and eternal. But the real revelation here is Joni Mitchell. Young's memories of her are almost reverent. She may be the greatest artist of our generation. And this is where the narrative gets juicy. Mitchell wasn't just a songwriter, she was a painter with chords. Her harmonic sophistication, her poetic intimacy. Young saw a mirror of his own obsession with texture. When he describes first hearing her in that Winnipeg club, you can feel the shift. He wasn't just impressed by her lyrics, he recognized the same refusal to compromise. From my perspective, this is what binds all three: they treated music as a personal diary first and a product second. That's why Young's grunge pioneer moment with Rust Never Sleeps makes sense. He was channeling Mitchell's vulnerability, Dylan's rage, and McCartney's melody, all through a distortion pedal. Here's the thing most retrospectives miss: this trio's legacy isn't in their hits. It's in their willingness to alienate fans for the sake of growth. Dylan going electric. Mitchell shifting from folk to jazz. McCartney diving into experimental noise. Young's entire career is a case study in that philosophy. When he says great songwriting comes from honesty and conviction, he's not romanticizing, it's a survival tactic. And this raises a bigger question: in an era of algorithm-driven music, can artists still afford to evolve like this? Or have we lost that sacred artistic freedom Young champions? So I'll leave you with this: maybe the real reason Young idolizes these three isn't their technical prowess. Maybe it's because they taught him, and the rest of us, that the only thing more important than a perfect melody is the courage to break it. Who's on your Mount Rushmore of songwriting? Drop your takes below. Because honestly, this isn't just about the past, it's about what we value in music today.